Thank you for joining us today. This is part one of our four-part mini-series on Azure governance. Each part is intended to be a very high-level overview of the information presented during a day-long event. At the end of the mini-series, you'll have an opportunity to register for a local Azure governance event. Why governance? If you take the pressure to digitally transform your organization and combine that with maintaining agility while increasing speed to market and shifting to DevOps, you're faced with an increased complexity around managing accountability, compliance, consistent architecture, and cost. A solid governance framework simplifies those complexities. As I mentioned, this is a four-part mini-series on Azure governance. Today, we're going to talk about management groups. In our next session, we're going to cover Azure policy and initiatives, then blueprints, and then we're going to round things out with resource graph and cost management. Digging deeper into the components of Azure governance, you'll be able to define your organization's hierarchy, maintain control through real-time enforcement, compliance assessment, and remediation, deploy and update cloud environments, query and analyze resources, and monitor consumption. Part 1. Management groups. If your organization has multiple subscriptions, you may need a way to efficiently manage access, policies, and compliance for those subscriptions. This can be accomplished through management groups. So what does that mean? Through management groups, you can group subscriptions, allowing new organizational models and single assignment of controls that apply to all subscriptions. You can create a flexible hierarchy that can be updated quickly and easily scale up or down depending upon the needs of your organization. And you can use Azure Resource Manager to integrate with other Azure services like Policy, Cost Management, Blueprints, and Security Center. In this simple example, using management groups, we've created an organizational hierarchy. Starting at the corporate level, we've created two management groups, one for the marketing team and one for the IT team. Within the IT group, we've established two additional management groups, one for the infrastructure team and one for the application team. Using role-based access control, we're limiting the marketing team's access to the dev test subscription, the infrastructure team's access to the EA subscription, and the application team's access to the pay-as-you-go subscription. In that example, we applied each principle of Azure management groups, grouping subscriptions together, creating an organizational hierarchy, and applying controls and access to other Azure services. This concludes this preview of Azure governance and management groups. I hope you'll join us for part 2, Azure policies and initiatives.